right, we are live.
Yay.
Wow, that was pretty
Hello.
close to real time.
Well, hello and welcome. I am Ronnke, your GM, and joining me today in order of their character avatars, we have Nosh, Mel, Geigerman, FX Engineer, and Rigel Kent. Today we embark on our Star Wars campaign titled Vanguard, using the very awesome and versatile GURPS system by Steve Jackson Games. Not everyone can watch the live stream, but worry not, our sessions are available on YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. You can find the links in the video description. If you find our content appealing and engaging, we kindly request that you show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our Twitch and YouTube channels. Before we dive into the action, does anyone have any character business they'd like to address?
I do. I would like to spend a couple of points to bump up hacking by a skill level.
Go for it.
What's that put you at?
A 12.
This will be session 3, so you don't really need GM approval for changes that you make. But as of next session, characters will be locked in, with the exception of Nosh. You have a further session. Any other character changes?
Not for Daryl. I'm saving my points.
Luck actually put 2 points in the targeted attack that for the rifle that he should have had.
Cool.
So it's easier for him to shoot people in the neck.
I actually did that as well last time, so I probably should say that, but I just did it as part of my revamp. Based on training and direction by Luck, Bostco took that 1 point in the targeted attack.
Keep in mind, you do also have the option to shoot chinks in armor, which I think is a -7.
It's -8 or -10, depending.
So -8, and that will basically give you a divide by 10 armor divisor.
Half VR.
Yeah, honestly, simply based off of what we've seen, regular weapons are very likely to penetrate.
Maybe not the pistols so much.
Then you need
Heavy
to replace
pistols
your
will.
pistols, get some DL44s.
But not everyone's getting around in Stormtrooper armor, so...
Yeah, I'll have to think about that chink situation.
But on a good roll, a
situational.
standard blast pistol will get through a Stormtrooper armor. Otherwise you have chinks, or you have the helmet. Or if you want to go for the neck, you can go for the neck. Alright, if there's no other character business, any questions from last session or any questions in general?
Nope.
Negative. Get on with it.
Very well. So, a quick recap. In fact, I think we'll redo our crawl. Let me make this big.
Ronnke, I did make a change to my character last time. I don't know if you need to if you need me to explain it, but based on like my disadvantage points that I was over.
No, that should be fine. All right, I'll make this big and I will start it. Nosh, when you're ready.
If he can keep up with it.
I did slow it down a bit.
It's going to be like singing karaoke.
Just speak really, really fast.
People will just have to imagine the music.
We'll fix it in post.
That's very George Lucas of you.
All right.
Episode 1, The Diplomat. The passenger transport Serenity Star was attacked by the Crimson Corsairs, a notorious band of space pirates led by the enigmatic Captain Ral Torak. The Imperial cruiser Ashfall arrived to drive off the pirates, but not before they were able to destroy the Serenity Star and a number of escape pods. Catalana Wren, a resistance sympathizer from Naboo, was rescued and taken aboard the Ashfall, which has relocated to Starhaven Station in the Stellara system to undergo repairs. ISB agents now question the surviving Serenity Star passengers, trying to ascertain a motive for the Crimson Corsairs' highly abnormal desire to destroy a passenger transport.
Very
Okay,
good.
now I got to do it again, but in the Super Friends announcer voice.
Very good. Thank you, Nosh. So, a quick recap from last week. You guys were contacted by Kaylin Bree. This gentleman, he has requested you to embark on a mission to rescue Catalana Wren from possible interrogation from ISB agents, hoping that in doing so, her cover or her resistance sympathies are not discovered. For she is an individual that has sensitive resistance information. You departed with Kaylin Bree and rendezvoused with a CR-90 Corellian corvette and spoke with Captain Matano. In regards to your rescue mission. He has promised to provide a distraction for you guys at Starhaven Station, should you guys need it. Starhaven Station is in the Stellara system, and it is currently the location of the Imperial command cruiser Ashfall. Which is undergoing repairs. Most of its crew have disembarked and are on board the station while the repairs are taking place. You have been informed that all the passengers are on board the station and they're being currently interviewed by the ISB agents. You received a ride to Starhaven Station via Kira Thalos. This person, and you are currently traveling in her YT 2400 freighter.
I'm immediately suspicious of this woman because she has not named her ship.
I think I have a name for her ship somewhere. I don't know why my brain just jumped to Pussy Wagon, but I can't work out my brain.
Particularly Star Warsy, I must say.
I know, and it's not yellow. And we left it with you guys jumping to light speed, and you are set to come out of light speed at Starhaven Station.
Right. So while en route, we should probably figure out a plan.
Figure out your plan. Oh, you also managed to secure some transit codes from Hobbs Vidal. This dude.
Who totally doesn't look like Gollum at all.
It's Gollum's dad.
In return for a favor.
That's Bostco who got the favor, or not the rest of us.
Well, Bostco. And
Better hidden.
I'm sure Nim will remind Bosco that you don't want to be in Hobbs' pocket. It's not nice. Usually not nice there. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I tried to pay him. He did give me his money back, so I suppose that means something.
Yeah, your money's no good to him. You're more valuable to him than money.
So you need to do a proper thing, and Han shot first. Right. So, do we have a visual of what the station's going to look like? What the station looks like?
I think you guys did some research, did you not? If I recall.
Yes, a little bit.
I know we wanted to.
Does someone have the research skill?
I think Tina did some research for us. I don't remember what you gave us.
She rolled it at default, and I think the only thing that she discovered was a couple of possible ways, like justification for us being there, like tourists,
Right.
miners, possible miners.
We got the information about the system.
Yeah, and there was the hang on, let me grab my notes.
We did find that the station was a trade hub, and it was kind of Bespin-like in that regard.
It is built into an asteroid also.
Right, and that.
Yep. And we were going to be there at the same time of a cluster called Twilight Vale. And apparently people from all over like to come and take a look at it because it's cool.
I think that Bosco was planning on going to the visitor center once we docked and then asking for a brochure, with the map.
I suppose there's no reason I can't give you the image of Starhaven Station. I'm sure you can find it on your space Bing.
I'll have you know, I use Minoc Go.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, there's less tracking in Minoc Go.
Have we not seen this station before?
You shouldn't have.
Seems vaguely familiar to me for some reason.
Well, I like it. I think
That's Moonbase Alpha.
Wouldn't that be funny?
So this is the station. It is quite large. The docking bays are in these things. You can fly into the ends. The main sort of hangar entrance is actually that one, but it's not shown in the image, unfortunately. There is a big opening there. So that's what Starhaven looks like. It is largely independent, mainly because it doesn't get in the way of Imperial activities.
Well, that's going to change after we run through it.
Or is
Would
this going to
we
be one of
know-
those outfits where it blows up every time we leave a place?
And I'm wondering, Bosco's wondering, is this, would they have areas that are kind of like public areas where anybody can sort of walk through without drawing attention? Or is it pretty much all like a controlled area where you need a reason or some sort of badge or something?
It is pretty much all public areas. Of course, there are locked off areas. The control rating on this place is, I think, 2. So it's fairly free.
Where is the Ashfall going to be docked?
It is
Or
not
is it
docked.
docked?
It is floating above.
Or beside, depending on how you look at it.
Well, yes.
So Ren is Kalen's organization's asset. So did he provide any way to contact her? Or any other way to identify ourselves?
He did not. And I guess it's clear to you that in liberating her, you will have to somehow identify yourself.
I guess I would extend that to the other guy, the new guy, the one at the Corvette.
Kira?
No, Dr. Sexy, whatever his name is.
The captain? Captain Matano?
That one, yeah.
Where do you get Dr. Sexy from that?
That was just Mel's reaction, just made me think of that.
Uh-huh.
Bosco was, for a moment, he's like, oh, he must be talking about me. And he was just kind of like rubbing his hair, brushing his hair back.
Yes. It will very much be I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. Not that you...
It's a little before that, though.
They're not, as far as you know, they're not actually prisoners.
Well, Bosco, his, what is it, MO, I don't know, SOP, whatever, mode of operation is he will talk to people if that's an option and try to discreetly ask around, use his charms and his skills to, hey, where can this person be at?
Well, let's think this through. So the
Maybe go to the bar, have a couple
Serenity
drinks.
was blown up, and then the survivors were brought here. If we're coming in here, we're going to be asking where are the survivors, specifically one of them. So we're going to need a good reason to be asking to find those people without drawing attention to ourselves.
That's certainly a skill that Streetwise would be useful for.
Which in retrospect, some kind of journalism outfit might have been a good cover.
I do have my medical kit with me. I can also have like, hey, I was sent here, or maybe I'm a freelance philanthropist type, not a philanthropist, but I'm
Doctors Without Sectors.
yeah, Doctors Without Sectors. I'm just interested in helping people out. Where are they at?
I could see that.
However, I don't exactly strike a very doctorly appearance.
Hey, you can fix that. You just need a lab coat and a clipboard.
You're the security. You're the bodyguard. Starhaven Station is something of a free port, so you have people of all sorts here.
Yeah, you lost that eye in a gynecology disaster.
Yeah, and then also
Don't
now that
ask.
we're also, once we get on board the station, Tiny can possibly find a place to hack into, and do the backdoor approach, get some information that way.
Yeah, I thought her hacking was higher than it turns out it was.
Right. So insert's one thing, exfiltrate is another. Have any thoughts on how to get her out of there while keeping her cover relatively intact? Because the first thing that comes to mind there for me is if they're like asking people where we're trying, or if ISB's involved, as we've been instructed or told, and they're going, yeah, we're investigating this, and a group of individuals come in and liberate her, well, that's going to kind of ruin any cover she's got.
Hmm. Yeah, that's another great question for our handlers.
Well, it depends if she's got like babysitters, or if she's locked
Well,
up
Well,
somewhere.
regardless, she's sort of under observation now by the Imperial Security Bureau, and once they start looking at you, they're very interested. And if you suspiciously / mysteriously disappear, that's going to cause them to start digging deeper.
yeah, he's not talking about getting her out so much as she's going to be burned if we don't do this in a way that they'll accept.
Maybe we can fake her death, and then we have to like take her out in a body bag.
This
Well-
is going to be a recurring theme.
Bosco may have heard it in the discussion. If you recall, Kalen took Luck aside and said that if you can't get her out, you're to eliminate the asset because it's too much of a risk.
Well, that's true. That means if she's burned, it's not a loss.
Yeah, but that's not going to be my initial go-to.
I guess
That's not plan A.
I guess your plan A is to get her out without burning her identity or her secret identity. Then if you can't do that, just get her out. And then if you can't do that, then take her out.
But yeah, if anybody has any thoughts about how to exfiltrate her without breaking the cover, that'd be great.
Well, one of the first questions we're going to have to answer here is whether or not they've got the survivors locked down or they're free to move about. So if they're free to move about, then if we just bugger off, then there's really nothing they can do about it.
But that means she's burned.
Maybe Tina can program us some identity secret, some credentials.
She's got a 12.
Yes, but she also has my dice. So
Yeah, she's got a 12 and Mel's dice.
Well, she's got dice and maybe like gear and stuff like that.
So
Take
maybe
her
we
time
should plan. We
spent.
should plan for that that in mind, and just presume that she's gonna cause the while trying to hack some identification, she's gonna accidentally cause the reactor to go critical.
that would track.
And she's like, "How did I do that?
Well,
They're not
if
even
we
on
can,
the same server."
if we can get in contact with her in the first place without stirring up any hornets, then she might be able to tell us how to get her out. I mean,
Right.
I'm assuming she's been at this for a little bit. Of course, that is an assumption. She might not be particularly skilled.
Right. Well, I guess it looks like our MO is going to be play it by ear, which is a terrible idea, but entertaining, I suppose.
Well, I guess you have the opportunity to work that out once you're there and actually assess the situation. You're not going to draw attention to yourself just turning up there, so you will have as much time as you want. Unfortunately, the more time you take, the more time there's going to be for Katlana to get in trouble.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go
Did
there.
Mel ever figure out what her droid is?
Super Hacker Droid. The Hacker Man 2000.
Yeah. Like a tech droid.
I think we determined that it had been left behind on Fantine because it's being repaired.
We're talking about Tina's droid or somebody else?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Tina's droid.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still working on that.
Mine is just crappy equipment that Tina probably has looked at and said, "Ooh, I need to borrow that and fix the stupid thing." It might not even have higher logic functions right now.
Yeah, it's probably be the equivalent of somebody still trying to run on an iPhone 3.
Okay, well, let's get to the station, get aboard, and start screwing everything up.
Yeah, but before that, we're going to come out of light speed into a meteor field.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do an image of star streaks and hyperspace. Actually, I can do it as an animation.
You just get a handful of window pattern silhouette overlays that you can just drop on.
That would be kind of cool. I'm sure the campaign image folder is going to end up being very huge.
I think we should have a in-house rule. If anybody says the words, "I've got a bad feeling about this," Ronnke kicks us from the game.
You drink. All right, so you'll be on board the not pussy wagon.
Yeah, I seem to remember she did name it now or name drop it in the last session, but I just don't remember what it is.
I didn't hear it when I did the chapters. I could have skipped it though.
Doesn't matter. You'll drop out
That's
of
the name.
that doesn't matter. That works. So you'll drop out of light speed. Stars will streak in front of you and then come to a standstill, and you will see yourself in front of a rather large asteroid. Nosh, you're in the co-pilot's chair. Give me is it electronics ops sensors roll, please.
Electronic operations sensors.
Yes.
Damn.
Never mind. That is still a success because the size modifier of what you're sensing is much greater than that. So aside from the odd transport sort of coming and going, it's reasonably busy. But the main feature that appears on sensors is the ashfall. You will see it hovering a kilometre or so above the Starhaven Station, and on visuals you can see lights sort of buzzing around, which you assume are like repair droids or the repair crews going about their work. So you'll see the flashes of welding and whatnot taking place.
What I wouldn't give to tear that thing apart.
You do also detect a flight of TIE fighters. They are buzzing around near the ashfall. But what gets your your main attention is there appears to be two starfighters on an intercept course with your ship.
Well, I'll communicate this to the captain.
Kira will turn to someone. Does anyone know what he said?
Something about we're fucked.
Ship's on approach. And Luck is going to turn and dart towards the turret as quickly as he can dart in his armor.
All right, give me a further sensors operation roll, please. Nosh.
Damn it.
Gonna be like that.
Quick, jam their comlinks.
Mel is
You
like,
don't need to
"Woohoo,
worry.
It's not me."
The size modifier is +5 or +6, I think. So you are good.
Sensors should have a scan rating as
Probably
well.
a range, scan rating, yeah, and then the size modifier.
Yes. I think only a critical fail is going to mess you up, especially at these close ranges. So these will be on intercept. You'll get a call through comms You will hear it. It'll come through, and it'll say unidentified YT 2400 Nanya. You are in restricted airspace. You must have transmit a transit code, or you will be required to leave the area. Failure to do so will result in your destruction. And then he says, I repeat, and repeats the message.
So I look over at Bostco looks over at Kira. I'm like, what's
Kira will turn to Bostco, and she says, that code of yours.
I give her the hollow cubes with the codes.
She says, I hope this is good.
Donkey balls.
Yes, donkey balls. All right. Because I like chaos, I'll get a universe reaction roll from
I heard it's
Bostco. This will determine how good your transit codes are.
You are absolutely going to roll a 3 here.
Do I get any bonuses
Mhm.
for the quality of my negotiations in obtaining the codes?
He didn't like you that much.
Let's say you get a +2.
I'm assuming poor is just older codes, but they check out.
Yes.
Oh, I was hoping for a 3, so they said, "Up, those were stolen last week. Open fire."
Right, those are expired.
Kira says, or takes the holocube, says, well, I hope these codes are good, plugs it in, and she'll open up the comm and says, transmitting transit code now. She pushes the button, and
Things explode.
there's an uncomfortable pause, and then the reply, YT 2400 Nanya. Your transit codes are good. You're clear to Starhaven Station.
You are
Be
cleared to land on platform 327.
Be advised, the Imperial cruiser Ashfall is in the area. You are to maintain a clear distance from this vessel. Welcome to Starhaven.
Bosco gives like a quick cheer and like, yes, and like gives Kira a kiss on the cheek or like back of her neck, wherever she's sitting.
Wow, that was fast.
It's not that exciting.
Give me a reaction roll. Like,
3. She turns around and shoots him.
Well, do I get that? And he wasn't trying to seduce or anything like that. It was
no,
just
that's fine. Just so give
Yeah,
me
but it
a
wasn't unwanted.
You don't know. She doesn't know you.
reaction roll. Add whatever modifiers you think are appropriate. Since
Okay.
you weren't sex appealing, you can't roll. You can't roll
touching,
sex
no
appeal.
touching.
Well, I will either have a -2 or a +2 for overconfidence. Can I use one of those? One is for
She's not
experience.
naive. She's not naive.
Okay, roll 8.
So you'll get to add your charisma, I guess.
Well,
I did a charisma +2, overconfidence -2, but then a sense of duty to the cause
Well, she
Plus
didn't
two.
punch you.
I'm not sure if the sense of duty would really come into play here, but she looks at you and goes. She says, "Yeah, I'm relieved too. I was getting
So
worried
maybe I
there."
got a neutral.
11, so neutral or better. But yeah, the kiss on the cheek comes as a bit of a surprise, but she goes back to flying the ship.
I don't know what you're scared about. Hobbs gives good material. It's what comes after that's going to be the problem.
Kira will say, Darryl, you take us in. I'm going to prepare us for landing. And she will jump out of the pilot seat and head off out back.
See, if you'd rolled really well, she'd have dragged Bostco out.
She would say something like, "You're a scruffy nerf herder."
All right, you want me to do a piloting roll?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
Is this a high performance spacecraft, low performance spacecraft, no performance spacecraft?
High performance. Not a problem. You'll bring in the Nunya into the designated dock without a problem. You will get a close-up on the Architens. The Ashfall has taken substantial damage. There's a lot of visible sort of blaster scoring on the hull, with some sections being completely opened up. So there's panels missing, and you can see that the repair crews are replacing whole panels on this ship. So the engagement with the Crimson Corsairs must have been fairly extreme. Yeah, these are tough little ships.
Kira, you're going to be here to take us back once we get Miss Wren, aren't you?
As you're sort of landing, Kira comes in back to the cockpit, and she'll say, "Of course, I'll be here till you guys need to come out. I'll stay on board unless you need me in the station."
Okay, right.
Yes, it's Nunya, as in none your business. All right, so in this dock, it's not a private berth. You will find a spot, and there's ships of all sorts. You're like typical, you do fly through a atmospheric shield, so the dock opens up into space, but you'll land there, and you'll see it is quite busy. There's people loading ships, unloading ships, maintenance crews and tech crews, all going about their business. No one really takes any or pays any attention to your arrival, and if well, I'm assuming that you're all disembarking. When you disembark, no one really bothers to look. You do see that there are a couple of stormtroopers that are just standing around. At this point, they're mostly just talking to each other.
I heard they're going to discontinue the T-14.
That thing's never going to get discontinued.
That is typical of the conversation they're having, yes. It seems that every pair of stormtroopers, that's all they talk about. I suppose I can do this.
Right, so how are we going to locate the objective?
Kira will say, so, do you want me to stay with the ship? Or do you need my help on board, on station?
Stay on the ship for the time being, I think.
Let's get her on the comm channel.
You set
Does
up the
everybody
comm.
here actually have a comm?
Yep.
Everyone will have a comm, yes. It would be considered part of your 80-20 split.
It's like a cell phone where, everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. So, we need to get a lay of the land before we do anything else.
Is there an information kiosk?
Totally be manned by a droid. Would you like to know more?
You will, if you leave the sort of hangar or port area, the first thing you get to is a information kiosk, which is in fact manned by a protocol droid.
Ironically.
Right. So we want standard. I don't know what that would be classified as. If you go to a unfamiliar, really big mall, they have the standard thing that has the little floor plans.
Yeah.
Or if
Just
you
a
go to a convention center, it's going to have a map. I don't want to say we'd like floor plans, please, because that would be
diagram?
wrong.
Station orientation, please.
Yeah, that makes sense. Station orientation.
Luck. Are you in your trooper outfit?
I am, but I'm currently wearing the poncho to mostly conceal it. It's probably pretty clear that I'm wearing armor.
You have helmet?
I
Helmet
do,
on?
but it no longer looks like a stormtrooper helmet. It's probably just a regular. It just looks like a helmet.
So as you approach the information desk, the droid will say, "Welcome to Starhaven. Good evening, trooper. Can I help you?"
Station orientation, please.
Says, "Certainly." The droid will press some buttons and a sort of a very basic sort of holographic image of the station will appear with a UR here. Is there something that you're looking for? Can I help you?
I would like to crack. Do I not have a data pad?
Are we going to try to do the Doctors Without Sectors thing?
I think we wanted to get the orientation first. I do not have a freaking data pad or anything like that. Holy crap. That's an
It-
oversight.
It got shot the last time you were out.
You have a
Make
droid for that.
sure.
Or the screen cracked and it's in the Apple store for repair.
No, he would have just, smashed it and, made sure it couldn't be retrieved and then got picked up another one. Does
But it's
anybody
perfectly
else have
reasonable.
a data pad that they can just like plug in and download the station stuff? All right, so in that case, once the hollow's there, Luck will gesture for someone, and I guess it'll be Nim to plug in and download that information. And to the droid, he's like, "No, stand by."
Of course, sir.
Oh, right. Hold on. I want to see. Oh, okay, right. He doesn't really like droids.
So there's a pause, and then the droid will say, let me make you aware of some of our facilities. On board Starhaven, we have a casino. We have several hotels. We have several bars and nightlife entertainment areas. And we'll just start rattling off, basically doing, Google ads for the various systems and services they have here.
Okay, so for thinking that through, Luck will address the droid and say, to make sure we don't violate any station regulations, what locations are off limits?
The droid will rattle off some places that are off limits, and that's mainly related to, station management and security and things like that. Nothing special or out of the ordinary is considered off limits.
So the Imperials haven't cordoned off anything then?
Are you asking that to the droid?
I am just observing.
It would not appear so.
Nothing else comes to me there, so he will probably just hold up a hand and say, that will be all, thank you, and then move away with the rest of the team to review and discuss next step. And if someone else wants to start yakking with the droid, they're free to do so.
The droid will patiently wait for anyone else to sort of chime in, say anything.
It does occur to me he shouldn't be saying thank you and please. He doesn't like droids.
If there's a long pause, then the droid will begin to rattle off again services. If you are seeking spare parts, perhaps you can investigate Watto's Auto Repair.
He's expanded into a franchise.
Well, it is, 20 years?
All right, so put some distance between us and the droid so we can't hear and or record.
Soon as you step away, the droid will immediately sort of go silent until someone else comes close.
Blasted droids.
Gonk. Gonk.
See, now that's a proper droid.
As it just walked past you. Gonk.
So the survivors were picked up by the ashfall? Question mark.
As far as you know, the survivors were picked up by the ashfall.
Okay. So wherever they might be staying at the station, it's probably at their expense.
How likely would it be for them to not even be on this station, but instead be on the ashfall?
I think if it's being torn apart right now, then maybe they wouldn't. I was thinking about that.
Give me an IQ roll. Or I guess if you have intelligence analysis, you're welcome to roll that one as well.
I do have that. And success by 1.
And in fact, given that Tina is a mechanic, you can roll mechanic starship.
Success by 5. That's pretty sweet. Wait, why did you got this supposed to be Mel? Where's your dice?
Shh.
They'll make an appearance, don't
No,
worry.
she's like, I got him.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter. Like, when it really matters is when they betray me.
All right, so from your point of view, Tina, it's large sections from what you saw of the repairs taking place. Large sections of the ashfall are going to be depressurized for the repair process. So most, if not all, the non-critical crew would have been evacuated, at least from the areas that are undergoing repairs. Luck, your gut tells you it is unlikely that they're going to be on board, because as the ship's being repaired, critical and vulnerable systems are, exposed and, not attended. So for security reasons, people would have been moved off the ship. So you're fairly confident. You can't say with 100% certainty, but, educated guesses.
So, Luck having some experience with the bureaucratic side of local politics. What I'm wondering here is where the Empire would want to set up. So they're going to want to get a hotel of some kind of lodgings. And where would they go to do that? It would probably be somewhere secure.
Well, there'd be no area really secure,
right?
Since this is public. But they would secure an area.
As Empire coming in, needing to bill at their star crew, they're going to choose a place that is the most secure. And depending on how the Empire operates, do they just are they going to take the highest end hotel and buy it out, or are they going to
what is this buy
go to
it
the
out?
Motel 6 or whatever? I don't know.
What is this buy
Well,
it out
you know what I
crap?
mean.
They're just gonna go, we need this.
Right, but my thinking was we start looking for the hotels that have no reservations.
I guess you could do that. That would be a research roll.
but I'm assuming Luck is probably the closest, the one that would have
I
the
don't have any
closest
research.
knowledge to where they might try to billet their people. And I realize that closeness may not be very small.
Well, the problem there is Luck would not have had a lot of what's the word I'm probably looking for. He's not going to be aware of how the Navy is going to operate in that case because he was the trooper, so they would have deployed, and if something bad happened, then they would have just deployed somewhere else.
I guess I'm looking at it from the standpoint of if the U.S. Army or the U.S. Air Force were to put their people somewhere in a town, where would they go?
They would probably occupy all the hotels that are available. If that was not enough, then they would probably set up, tents in some place.
Yeah, in that case, they just, and again, remember, this is the Empire. They're not going to rent anything.
Yeah.
They're going to show up and say, "You need to get rid of everyone that's in there. We're taking this building over. You can have it back, maybe, when we're done with it."
So I'm assuming some of the hotels that they've taken over basically are going to be saying we're not accepting any reservations at this point.
That's a fair assumption.
So we'll just start with the ones that look the most militarily acceptable.
Just a sort of brief description of the area that you're in. Where you're sort of standing, where the information booth was, it is a large sort of concourse. Like, think of it like a mall, street mall or something like that. It appears to go the entire internal perimeter of this thing, the main sort of concourse. As far as you can see, it sort of curves all the way around, both left and right, and you have all the shops and services that sort of go off that, and then you'll notice that there's these spokes. They go into the sort of center sections of this station. There are speeders that will zip past in amongst people walking around as well. It is a large area.
So Tina's gonna head back over to the kiosk, to the information droid, and kind of reach up and like rap him on the noggin and say hello.
The
Do
droid
any
was
of us actually have research?
Do what?
So do any of us actually have research as a skill?
I actually was considering dumping a point into it as well tonight, but figured I'd only do like one at a time. But I was rolling on default last time.
Keep in mind, your characters are still within the 3-session limit, so you can add skills as you need to.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily need to be done at the start of the session.
Alrighty. So I may go ahead and plunk a point into that.
All right. Well, you will wrap the protocol droid on the head, and the droid sort of steps back and goes, "Oh, goodness me."
Hi. So we're looking for a place where we can just, have a hotel room. So, like, are there any hotels that are like all booked up? Because we're really looking for someplace nice. And just, this may be too much information, but I kind of have a thing for Imperial officers. So, do you know where any Imperial officers are staying right now? Because if you did, that would be great.
This is so not going to work.
I got this. It's fine.
Do you have any particular skills that could be useful here?
Mechanic droid.
Maybe fast talk? Either way.
She actually does have fast talk.
Okay, give me a roll. Wow, nice.
5-4.
And she has like honest face, and she'll do her disarming smile, like she's really putting on the I'm just a brainless girl that's looking for a hot Imperial soldier or Imperial officer.
The droid will say,
Oh my. Suddenly the droid has become Sulu.
Yep, now it is.
the droid will say, unfortunately, accommodation resources are limited at Starhaven at the moment. Imperials have taken up most of the hotels. Let me look, and you'll see the droid will start tapping on some big coloured button keys, because Star Wars. And
Dunk, 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 dunk.
the droid will say, most hotels are fully booked, unfortunately. I can find accommodation for you at, and it'll rattle off a couple of places. Unfortunately, these are not the best of accommodation.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And the droid, unfortunately, is not able to help you identify which hotels the Imperials have particularly taken up. But it appears you get the gist that it's most of them, with only the seedier places being available.
Okay, so
I'm sure I could find you a few space B&B places if you would like me to look.
Now you're talking. Can you give me a list? And like maybe what's the nicest hotel here if I wanted to just go look?
Yeah, I was going to say, if I were a starship captain,
All right, you'll get a list of the nicest hotels. They're the 4.5, 5-star places. There's not that many. It's like less than half a dozen. But the droid will tell you, according to my records, they are unfortunately fully booked. Perhaps if you ask them at their receptions, they can make special arrangements for you.
Indeed, I just might do that. You've been so helpful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Please enjoy your stay at Starhaven Station.
And she'll turn around and trot back to the group. And
as you sort of walk away, the droid will start rattling off some more ads. Visit the Pleasure Palace, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as you get a certain distance away, the droid will just go quiet.
So, like, as soon as we get to a place where this is just going to be a thing I want to do. That if we get to a place where Tina can actually hack into the system, she's going to hack in and program all of those kiosk droids to have like Viagra ads.
All right. Give me a perception roll.
Well, she's not doing it right now, but eventually.
All right. You add a note in your to-do list. Mess with all the droids.
All right. So she'll get back and give the group the list of the nicest hotels and let them know that the Imperials have pretty much booked up the entire station except for like 2 or 3 pretty ratty places. Not sure if it helps, but it might save us a little time.
But we got a list, a complete a list of them as well. So the chick. What the hell was her name again? Catalina Wren.
Catalana Wren, yeah.
She's an actual diplomat type.
She is a diplomat, yes. For
Right.
Naboo.
So our first target would be high-end hotels.
Yep.
Because a diplomat's not going to be, kept in a crappy, kind of place where I would be.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They are going to end up putting her wherever the captain is, probably the top hotel they have. So we start at the top and work our way down.
You also have options for streetwise. You can ask around. I'm sure the information peddlers on the streets would be inquiring, or they'll have their network of, was it little birds, asking around what's going on.
Yeah. So do we want to just start hitting the streetwise, or the streetwise having potentially legal consequences?
We're also going to need
or
to
do we
set
have
up
another?
We're also going to need to find some sort of HQ
Headquarters.
point for ourselves, because I do not have streetwise. I am not a streetwise type.
We could sort of HQ at the ship. I mean, it's not like anybody's not going to be able to find out where we came in.
And you've noticed too that, like I said, it's pretty much a free port. There's no customs, or there at least doesn't appear to be any sort of customs or anything like that going on. You could walk in and out of the spaceport area quite freely.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about the benefit of a gigantic galactic empire is it's all the same empire. Shouldn't be any customs.
Well, this is true, but this particular station is extra free.
So as far as searches go, we're typically going to be either doing streetwise or savoir-faire high society in her case. And I'm trying to think of other potentials. Administration, maybe? And I'm guessing none of us have any of those skills except for streetwise.
Well,
I have
Bostco probably has
administration.
high. And he probably has
That's right.
savoir-faire high society too.
Actually, if he
Yes.
doesn't have savoir-faire high society, he really needs that.
Yeah,
I have that as well.
He's our diplomancer.
Right.
So
well,
are we searching for people, right? Is that what we're doing?
we are.
So we could do like, if we're doing the social engineering, it's like one search per day. Streetwise is if you're doing like a concealed activity where you don't want anybody to know. But you can also use the other skills, but you take a -5. So use any other skill, but you take a -5 for trying to be discreet about it.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
you have
it depends on
streetwise.
how discreet we're trying to be.
And we could do one roll per day per party member.
So if we're going to use a cover like the Doctors Without Sectors or whatever, then we don't necessarily need to be discreet. But if you want to do streetwise, then I can help.
What do you have? What does Nim have for skills that you're thinking?
Streetwise specifically, I got it 16.
Oh, because then maybe you could do a streetwise check and I could do a separate check. That way we don't, we could each
We
do a
could.
check.
Yeah, there's no reason
Because
we
your
couldn't split that
streetwise
up.
probably is better than mine, actually.
Well, why don't we do that? I'll do streetwise and you'll do whatever you want to that isn't streetwise.
Yeah, I can do maybe like one of the medical skills, and find out where the crew from the quote unquote rescued passengers or whatever survivors, where they're being kept for
That's not
treatment.
bad.
Just an idea.
All right. So
Side note for the GM, I am remembering the problem we had with the pulling a ranged weapon in and having it tagged properly is that it drops out the name on the range combat sheet. We clearly never fixed that.
Let me make a note, because I'm guaranteed to not remember by the time I get around to fixing it. But carry on. So the plan.
Also,
What's the population roughly?
It is like 250,000.
He was already thinking that. Okay, so we're definitely in the +3. If we're looking for a specific person, are we looking for her specifically, or are we just looking for the survivors? Because
Well, it's
if
up
we're
to you
looking
guys.
for a specific person, that reverses the bonuses.
I think we could take our chances with quote unquote the survivors, and she might be amongst that bunch of people. Or if she's not there, they would probably tell us specifically where she may be.
Maybe. Why don't we try that then? So we're at least at a +3.
Does that sound okay, Ronke, if we did that?
Sure.
So we'll each. So I think Nim, you're doing more of a covert type of search, right? And
Yeah,
then
I
I'm
got
just gonna be like,
streetwise.
hey, I'm a doctor.
Fired.
Um,
And it's going to be like that today.
you will have some penalties because you're trying to be discreet about it, right?
Well, streetwise is discreet.
But you're trying to be particularly discreet. You also have the opportunity to pay bribes if you have money for bribes.
That's more of a Bostco thing. No,
Well,
the discretion thing was built in. In social engineering, it's a -5 if you're trying to be discreet and you're not using streetwise.
All right, so you will find some information with your streetwise. You're asking around, inserting yourself into, or finding the seedier or underbelly of Starhaven Station. And you will learn that there is a lot of animosity towards the Empire being here. They are disrupting the normal flow of things. Normal crime has become suddenly very difficult. So there's a lot of pissed off and annoyed people that just want the Empire to piss off so that they can get back to regular business. They know the Empire did bring on board a number of civilians, and they were placed into a hotel. Which hotel? They don't know, but you're given a name of was it Exodore, I think? Yeah, let me get my notes.
Oh, we know you don't have any notes. Don't be silly.
Exeldor, Borkesh.
That's a fun name.
If anyone is to know exactly where these people are, he's the person to talk to. He can be found at the casino. He's privy to that sort of information. He knows all these things.
He's just a guy that knows things.
He is a guy that knows things.
Got it. That's good. We need a guy that knows things.
He actually owns and runs a casino.
Of course he does. I will share this information with the others.
Is there anything specific that you would hope to learn that I haven't mentioned?
No. I guess since this is a streetwise check here, I would kind of be interested to know if the Imperials are getting into any trouble, or is it the other way around, I guess. I already know the answer to that.
It's the other way around. The Imperials are throwing their weight around. They're being, probably unnecessarily troublesome. They know that, they're hot shit. They're running the show here for the moment. Bow down to the Empire.
So basically those two plebs at the beginning of Andor.
Yeah.
Pretty
Only
much.
with more authority.
And white uniforms. I guess there's also Navy personnel, non-stormtrooper Navy personnel as well. Which you will see as you sort of standing in this concourse, you'll see that there's a fair number of Imperials getting around. And you'll see like 2 stormtroopers walking down the road or walking down a path. They walk straight, expecting people to move aside. It's like, move aside. Move aside.
That's it for me. Next.
All right.
All right.
I guess Bostco was the next side.
So, Bosco, your plan?
Well, if I can wait till Nim gets back with that information, and use that to get more specific information, I guess, when I do my role, instead of asking for the same thing.
Well, given that, would you prefer to talk to the guy that I found first, or see what you can find on your own first?
And maybe corroborate.
Mm-hmm. Could get lucky. Maybe we don't even need him.
Let's okay, let me do that then. If maybe from that tour guide robot, I can go to the medical office, or wherever that is, and talk to some of the staff there. And I would say I would kind of bluff my way, so maybe using my fast talk and my charm with some, obviously, credentials, medical credentials.
Okay. So you're heading to the hospital.
Yep. I'll head to the hospital and try to find, want to talk to somebody that looks like they might know. I don't know if I should talk to one of the nurses up front, at a desk, at the check-in desk.
While this is taking place, are Tina and Daryl doing anything in particular?
I think Daryl is probably staying back at the ship. His predilection for wanting to chart fast ways out of places is on his mind.
Plus, as a member of the Wookiees, he probably doesn't want to draw as very much attention.
Okay. And what about Tina?
I think Tina's probably going to hang out with Luck and let Nim and Bosco do their social magic thing.
So we'll
And-
find like an open cantina sort of thing, and keep an eye on everyone.
Yeah, and Tina's gonna drive Luck crazy, asking him stupid questions.
Conveniently, the cantina has some speeder chases on the hollow.
Have we established that Tina knows Luck is the one that saved
I think she
Emma?
thinks.
I think she suspects.
Suspects, but
she-
not 100%.
Yeah, so far, he's the only one-eyed clone that she has met. So, and it happened to be on Fantine, which is kind of where I think everything went down to begin with. So,
Right, and he's probably griped about not liking being back on Fantine.
yeah. So it's kind of she's just kind of keeping an eye on him.
Righto. Okay, so Bosco, you will head off to the hospital.
Yeah. Do you want me to do like a reaction roll or like an influence roll with the skill?
That's entirely up to you. You will get to a reception area. The hospital has obviously there's like a reception help desk area where you can get directions to the particular wards and such. However, there is maps so you can find your way around the hospital on your own if you wanted to.
Okay, so what I would like to do, if possible, is well, I'd like to do a complimentary roll and basically go to the one of the stations where they have like computers, where a nurse would have access to like information on a computer possibly, and introduce myself as Dr. Basinski and use possibly my pharmacy skill, right, to kind of impress upon him that yep, I'm a doctor, I know what I'm talking about, right? So she established my credentials, and then say, oh, and by the way, I'm here, and then after that, do my bluff. If I could do like a complimentary skill with the medical first. And then I don't know if possibly she would know. I do have a reputation, but it's limited for pharmacy.
It probably wouldn't extend to places outside Fantine. Unless you regularly go outside Fantine.
Well, we ship our medicine, people would probably come to us to buy medical stuff. So I mean, potentially might know about it. I think,
What did you
buy?
what did
Pay
you
for?
pay for? Yeah.
Let me look it up real quick. I just bought the 1-pointer.
Yeah, it'll depend on the size of the group.
It's a 10 or less. Let's see, the group, people affected, almost everyone in the game world. Frequency is a 10 or less. Reputation as the best pharmacist.
So you or the family business is the best pharmacist?
Me. I'm related to the family, but I broke off and I have my own business, but we work together.
So you're actually famous.
Yeah, my drugs. Yeah, I'm a pretty good pharmacist.
Well, you as the individual is famous then. You're like
Yes.
a celebrity.
In the world of drugs.
A famous
It's like
pharmacist / terrorist. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would be like, hey, like my, I produced the Basinski, Tylenol or whatever. And it's like ketchup, they sell it everywhere.
All right, make a roll on your reaction.
They make mid.
Your reputation, I should say.
Okay, I don't have that one programmed, so I'll just roll a 3d6. How do I do that again? Shift.
So you click, left click and hold, and then right click to add dice.
That's not how I would do it. I'd go over to the abilities tab, other, and then create the reputation in there.
I will. I just didn't have it. I added all the other stuff, but not that one. So I'll add it for next time. But 10 or less. So I think she may have heard of my.
Okay, so you'll get to add your reputation bonus for the purpose of your reaction roll, unless you want to use an influence skill roll. And I'm not sure if... Yes, I think it does count. So if you want to use an
All right.
influence roll...
I'm just going to go for the influence roll. Just do one. Keep it simple. And then I can add my charisma, right?
I think charisma's already added to your skill.
I'm doing the reaction roll.
Okay.
Not so great. Because otherwise it would just be opposed.
So you will approach a nurse's station. Are you going to go to one of the wards, or where is this going to be?
What's a ward? I'm not sure what that is.
Like you have different wards. You have, pediatrics.
Hospital section.
Yeah, hospital section.
Oh,
You have cardiac ward. You have mental health
ER.
ward. Emergency. Yeah.
maybe the emergency one.
Okay. So you will go up to one of the nurses at the in the ER ward. She will say, "Are you? Hang on, I think I know you. I've seen your face." She says, "You're that Bostco fella. How can I help you?"
Yeah, so my story is like, I like to do some volunteer work every once in a while, and also it helps, I kind of give her a wink, helps promote my business. And I heard that there was a group of people that, I give her the quick public version of the story about the, Catalina Wren. And I'm here to see if I can help them out. And I show her my bag. I'm like, I brought some, some medicine that might be of use, if she can kind of kindly direct me to where they're at.
She says, "I'd love to help. I can't let you just go in and practice. I would have to run that by our senior doctor. If you'll wait here, I'll go see him."
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem.
Well, it tells you they're here.
So she will disappear, and a little while later she'll come back, and there's a doctor with a clipboard, and he's talking to another nurse, obviously talking work. Once he gets to the counter, he says, "The nurse here informs me that Bostco, I've heard of you. Your medicine is used quite extensively throughout our hospital. She says that you would like to volunteer your services for the day."
Yeah, and I try to be honest at the same time, as I'm also being just, not giving him the real story, but it does promote my business, and I do like to help out. And if you guys are anything like other places I've been to, you're probably short staffed or can use the extra help, and I'd love to be able to be of assistance.
Well, as it happens, we have quite a full ward. We've taken on some people that have come in with injuries related to a quite severe Space battle. You're welcome to help. We're treating a number right now. If you want to help, please come this way. We'll get you into some scrubs, and I'll take you around.
Yeah, and actually, I think maybe Nim might be with me. We'll just throw on a lab coat on him, and I could just say, this is my assistant, Nim. He'll be coming with
Nim
me.
doesn't look anything like an assistant.
No, he doesn't.
Just throw
I
a
don't
lab
know
coat,
why.
and I
I
give
don't know
you a
why I would
clipboard.
be with you.
Oh, okay, then I can go by myself. That's fine.
Unless you just really wanted to bring me along, I guess. I didn't even think about it.
I would bring either Tina or Nim. I think Luck is just too conspicuous. I don't,
You
and
think?
Daryl might be intimidating.
I think everybody but you is kind of conspicuous. And now that I'm thinking about it, you're the least conspicuous of us.
Well, Tina's got an honest face and she's likable, and just throw a lab coat on her. She's techie.
He's also very pink.
Lab coat has to be pink.
They do have pink lab coats.
Well, if anybody wanted to have come with me, I would take them and introduce them as my assistant. If not, then I'll just go by myself.
If you had said, "Hey, I need someone to come with me," then Tina would say, "Sure."
What's the worst that could happen, right?
This is
She didn't
gonna
have
be
anything
great.
better to do anyway.
And she's like probably really bored of the speeder races.
Yeah, she's been trying to pepper Luck with stupid questions, and he's ignoring her at this point.
It's not probably not that he ignores her. It's just that he's kind of boring. He's got that quirk level, no sense of humor. Super professional, stay on mission thing.
Yeah, and then maybe Tina makes sense because I'm assuming that most of the population would be human, and like for physiology purposes, might make more sense. Yeah,
All
so I
right.
tell the doctor that, sure, we'd be happy to help and kind of take a step in whatever direction he's pointing or looking at kind of give him
Give me
impulse.
a reaction roll for the doctor. This will determine whether he needs to see credentials for your assistant to see if they're suitably qualified, or he just takes you on your word.
Okay, a reaction roll or a
Yes.
skill roll. Do I get to use any of my charisma?
You can use
Or
your
reputation?
charisma and reputation.
Jeez, I cannot get better than that.
He says, of course. How's Bosco's surname pronounced?
You got me. I'm just
P.
saying
Coltrane.
Blazinski.
Is it Bugzinski?
I think it's
I'm just saying
Baczynski.
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 Not very Star Warsy.
He will say, I recognize you and I understand your credentials, but I'm going to have to ensure that your assistant, your name, and he'll sort of turn to Tina.
Tina will introduce herself.
Is Tina Crankshaft?
Yes. She doesn't have any savvy for making like a moniker or anything.
He says, I'll have to ensure that your assistant, Tina, is suitably qualified to be on the floor. Would you have details of that, Doctor?
Well, Tina's not a doctor. Obviously, she's just my assistant. When I say hand me the wrench or the syringe, she hands me a syringe. What kind of, I'm sure that's all that will be necessary. She's not going to be performing any surgeries or anything of that nature.
The guy says, well, I assure you, Doctor, you're not going to be performing any surgeries either. But you can certainly help look after patients. But I still need to make sure that
Tina,
anyone
she's
providing care
she's
is at
a
least
first-year
qualified.
apprentice. So she doesn't have her medical license yet. She's just helping me
Well,
to help me be more efficient.
well,
So
I'm sorry,
Tina-
Doctor. I can't let an unlicensed person in the hospital treating patients. That would open the hospital up to all sorts of litigation.
Well, I assure you, Doctor, that Tina will not be treating any patients.
Doctor.
At this point, you're going to need to convince him with a skill because
Yeah, he's being a little stubborn.
So, is there anybody in the general area who's sick or appears to be there for like medicine or anything?
there's a number of people in a waiting room, and there is, obviously rooms, behind the counter.
Okay. So, would like a first aid roll be enough to like see someone and like, do something to kind of indicate that, she may not have a license, but she can treat somebody?
Yeah,
God help us.
I will consider that. If you successfully can do a first aid, that will be a complementary role to whatever skill Bostco is going to try and pull off. All right, so Bostco, you'll get a +1.
Remember, you should probably announce what your roles are for the pod thing.
Yep. So success by 5.
All right, Bosco. What skill are you going to use to try and influence or sway this doctor?
Well, I'll go with the tried and true
Rolling.
fast talk. And my pitch is, obviously we all had to start somewhere. And, she's still
medical
going
school.
through school. Yeah, exactly. So she's authorized to work as my assistant. Yeah, and that's kind of my pitch. Like, obviously, like, hello, like, do we really, she's obviously not going to be licensed. Do we really need to go there? She's my assistant. She's in training. I vouch for her. I'll take any responsibility. She's not going to directly touch any of the patients or do anything. She's helping me.
All right, give me a fast talk roll.
Wow. Oh, wow, GM. That's GM roll. Even better.
Okay.
GM foobarred that one with his 17.
I like your chances.
GM's hoping for a critical fail here.
He's trying to roll crappy.
Yeah.
The doctor takes
Success by 1.
a deep breath and sighs. Says, okay, doctor, it is on you if there is any problem, but
She's your baggage.
I must insist that she is not to administer any medications or anything like that. She is purely to be your assistant.
Understood, doctor. And I appreciate your understanding. And just, I guess, for the podcast, I rolled my fast talk and success by 2 if I include the complimentary bonus.
So the doctor says, well, nurse, can you please get these two into some scrubs and put them on your list of rounds? The nurse will nod and she'll say, this way. And you'll walk off and she'll start asking all sorts of questions. It's really unusual to see someone of your caliber here. It's really unexpected. Starhaven Station's kind of out of the way. But she'll engage in sort of idle chat. You will be taken to a room to get into some scrubs. I should ask, do you have weapons on your person at this point?
Is the doctor asking me that?
No. This is the GM asking you. Did you go into the hospital asking for a job to help patients, armed and armored?
I do have my holdout blaster concealed. And I was thinking that the clothing that I have is concealed as clothing.
Okay. Well, the nurse will say, you may put your things into the lockers here. And she'll get you your scrubs. Before long, you are in medical scrubs. Your stuff, I guess, has been stowed away in the locker. Medical scrubs don't really allow for concealing blasters and such. So unless you want to perhaps attract unwanted attention, you'd either have to do a really good holdout or stow your weapons.
Imagine if they're dressing you in scrubs, you got a locker somewhere.
Well,
I think
they
yeah.
pointed out a locker that you can put your stuff into.
I think I'll play the game and keep my stuff in the locker then.
And you never see it again.
All right. And you're taken out. The nurse will...
Taken out.
Well, you're taken into the ward. The nurse will give you a list. She'll basically give you a brief for the patients that you have to look after. This person has come in complaining about pains in the stomach. The patient is a Twi'lek and run off the current treatment. They're currently on so and so many milligrams of whatever, and you'll notice that that's one of the drugs that your family produce. Then she'll just go through that with a whole bunch of patients. She'll give you the data pad and says, I'll be here if you need any assistance, but I'm sure you know your way around.
Okay. Cool. So do we have communications with the team?
You would have a communicator, yes?
So I would, once we had access and I was changing maybe some privacy, kind of whispering, hey, we've made entrance into the medical ward where we were advised, in short sentences, advised survivors of a space battle. We'll update once have confirmation.
All right, so on your list, you'll have a lot of people, not just survivors of the space battle. So you'll have people with all sorts of conditions coming into the hospital. There will be some that have injuries that related to the destruction of the Serenity Star. So they'll have burns. cuts, bruises, some more severe and such. What are you hoping to achieve? Because now you've clocked on, you're on the payroll.
Well,
Establish competence.
I would focus on the humans only from a medical professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
When-
Wink, wink.
I have
When they
limited,
did the brief, when they did the patient brief, you noticed that Catalana Wren was not amongst any of the patients.
Oh, that would be good. I should have asked that. Yeah, if they have a name, but I wonder if she might go by a different name. Well, is there any place that I could take Tina? Oh God, that sounds bad. But where she can maybe log into, a system and try to hack it in their database, or if he gave us a data pad.
You could certainly find a place that Tina could hack in. What would you be hoping to find?
The name Catalana Wren.
Well, you already know that she's not a patient here.
Can we eyeball the list? Like, is it a situation where you kind of have to swipe through all of them, or is there like an actual list and we can kind of filter out, see how many of them are human, female with trauma-based injuries?
And that have been here like a couple of days, with the timeline that we know about.
Yeah, you could do that to narrow down. So you're trying to determine whether Catalana is here under a different identity.
Yes.
That would be useful.
You will do so, and you can investigate as you sort of do rounds. You can investigate these patients, but you will find out that none of them are Catalana Wren.
And also then, Ronnke, Bosco will ask, as he's doing the rounds, just chit chat, like, hey, how you feeling? Da da da. How'd you get that burn? I'm, just kind of like try to gather information and find out if he can track down any of the specific crew, or I'm sorry, prisoner. I don't know what they call them, prisoners or the survivors. Yeah.
Well, you can talk to the survivors if you want to get information out of them. They will tell you that they were traveling to I think the system.
I mean, are these the people that were on the Ashfall? I just want to make sure we're talking to the right people.
They were on the Ashfall. They were on the Serenity Star. It was attacked and destroyed. People jumped into escape pods. The pirates started killing the escape pods, and then the Ashfall turned up. There was an engagement. The pirates withdrew. The Ashfall went and picked up those surviving escape pods, took them on board the Ashfall. Then the Ashfall came to Starhaven Station to undergo repairs because they suffered some pretty extreme damage in the engagement. Then those Serenity Star survivors were taken on board the station. Those that had injuries were delivered to the hospital for medical attention. These people will sort of tell you the story, and they'll describe the horror and trauma that they've suffered. But none of these people are Catalana Wren, and they don't know where where the other passengers are. The other passengers that had no injuries were taken somewhere else. Those with injuries were taken directly to the hospital.
Okay. So they don't know of where the rest of the survivors may be.
They don't know. But they do tell you that the announcements on the Serenity Star were that they were being attacked by pirates to prepare the ship for boarding, but then the announcement came that it didn't appear to be boarding, and the order was given to abandon the ship. And then people went to escape pods. And, these people are distraught. They'll be saying, I haven't seen, my husband, Tommy. Do you know if he's all right? Was he one of the people that were safe? And you just don't know that information.
Okay. So Bosco, I'm not sure what Tina would want to do, but just at least from Bosco's perspective, he would want to at least rule out the human female.
Well, you do the full rounds,
So he'll finish that
and
part,
that'll take a few hours.
Okay.
Unless you're just gonna drop the pad and walk out.
No, he will do his few hours, and then he's on a volunteer basis, so he's not gonna stay there for a 12-hour shift. But he will at least see all of the human females, and then possibly some of the other. He'll spend a few hours doing what he said he would do. If he had an opportunity where he can talk his way into a place where Tina can hack into a computer, like a private office or something like that, he would try to give her do that.
That's not a problem. She could do that.
I've
What information are you trying to find?
got some suggestions here. Well,
so while we're doing that, I'll give an update to the team, right? So then you would know that, and just say, hey, look, we don't see her anywhere on the patient list. There's another group of survivors. We're not sure where they're at. So we'll give them an update. And just kind of tell you what we plan on doing.
So one question, I don't know if these individuals may know, but at least the number on the roster that are listed as having come from the Ashfall might give an impression. But how many survivors were there? And that may just be a ballpark.
In terms of those that have injuries, you'll be able to find out that it is. Let's have the dice decide. So 14 with varying degrees of injuries.
And not all of them ended up in this hospital?
There is only one hospital.
Okay. So anybody that was in the hospital is here?
Yes.
Okay. Second question. Did any of these people share an escape pod with her?
So you're going to ask people as you do your rounds?
I'm just making some suggestions here. There's actually two parts to that question. One of them, did any of them share an escape pod with her? The second part of the question is, she's a diplomat, so she has an entourage. Are any of them part of her entourage?
All right, let's have the universe decide. On a good, or better, we'll need 2 rolls. On a good or better, there is someone that shared an escape pod with her. On a very good, one of them is her entourage. Actually, no, we just need 1 roll. So I'll get, since
True.
Nim, you mentioned it. Actually, no. Yeah, Nim,
No, why would you want to give that to me?
you make the roll, reaction roll.
Ah,
I say we make Nosh do it since he hasn't done anything.
That's true.
Hiding at the ship.
He's done piloting and stuff.
He's been hiding at the ship.
I'll happily send you my bad luck from a distance.
damn it.
That's appropriate.
No. None.
I guess the third related question would be whether or not any of them actually saw her, either getting into a pod or getting out of a pod, or
That would
just
have been
in
on a neutral.
transit.
On a neutral, someone would have seen her.
And that's a no. So, at least you've ruled out some potential sources of information.
It sounds like y'all need to go gambling.
Aren't we all gambling, really?
Well, he was gonna have you do the computer thing first, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just give me a hacking roll. You don't need no modifiers because you're in a considered secure area. All right, so you can pull the data on the.
Success by 5. That's a pretty good roll.
You can pull the data on those patients, and you will check, and you'll see that none of the existing patients are Catalana Ren. None of the previous patients are Catalana Ren, but you do note that there are some of the Serenity Star passengers that were discharged to the Empire. Yeah, they had minor injuries. They were treated and then discharged to the care of the Empire.
Would the records for those that have been discharged include pictures of them?
I guess so.
Okay. Any recognizable faces in those pictures?
Negative.
Okay. So she was.
Let's see. We'll have the universe decide. Roll reaction.
That's like his repeated comment.
I like the universe deciding things. So no. Same
That
situation.
was a poor reaction.
Yeah.
The universe is
So-
cold and indifferent.
Yeah. So she was not here.
Negative. She was not. Neither her entourage or anything like that.
So we're thinking that while the Bosco and Tina are doing this, then Luck will accompany Nim to the casino, although obviously Nim is going to have to take point in the streetwise and the talking because I'm not very good at that.
Okay, there is a small problem with this operation.
You're not very good at it either?
No, I'm pretty good at it, actually, but I don't have money. They're going to want money.
Well, you have money.
Do what?
You have money. Or did you spend all your remaining starting wealth?
I have some left over. Maybe about 500, 600 credits, something like that.
Wow, I have less than 200.
Looks like 644, yeah. So I do have some credits, but probably not in the denominations someone like this is probably looking for, unless the GM says that's probably appropriate. To be fair, I don't actually know.
Yeah, not sure.
It's not in your notes?
No,
Why isn't it in your notes?
because I didn't note that. Careful. There might be an explosive decompression in your section of the station.
That's cool.
Okay. Well, I mean, I hate to go in there without the cash in hand, but unfortunately, I don't have cash in hand.
You may be able to just, well, they may just want to get these damned imps off.
It's possible. I guess we'll just have to take a look at the price tags and see what it looks like. If they don't list a price in the menu, you can't afford it.
Nosh. Give me a perception roll.
Perception, eh? See, am I perceptive in other ways beyond just base perception? Nope, I'm not.
Success by 4.
That is sufficient. So, you are going about your business, doing ship stuff. You're looking it over, checking that all the bolts are fastened, and your primary buffer panel's not going to fall off next time you take flight. You're going over those things, and then you will see a ship that sort of catches your eye land in your dock, or land amongst the several other ships that are in this dock. It looks like
Yes.
Nothing. It looks like nothing.
this.
Oh. Well, now, what would I know about that vessel?
Give me an IQ roll. You don't know particularly anything about this ship. Whether it looks cool or not is up to you, but you will note that when it lands, the undersection of the ship sort of opens up, and you can see that it is kind of like a transport similar to the U-wing that you see in Rogue One.
Okay.
So in this undersection here, it opens up and some characters walk out that sort of catch your eye. They appear a little bit noticeable amongst the standard run-of-the-mill peoples.
They're totally bounty hunters.
We don't need their scum.
No,
That's what I was thinking. Exactly. We don't need their scum.
That would be right. I haven't imported it. 1 second.
Blame.
Yes, fail.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, I love it.
I think these are bad guys.
Interesting.
These guys will disembark this ship. They will talk for a bit, and this dude seems to be in charge. They are all armed. But this dude seems to be in charge. He will start giving some directions, and they will split up into pairs, and they will enter the sort of space station concourse, and that's when you will lose sight of them.
Interesting. I will grab my communicator and communicate this to Luck.
Right. So did he actually identify that they are Corsairs?
No, he didn't. He just, looked at them, saw them. It's like, these guys are different.
Then I think I'm just looking at my skills here. Don't think there's anything I have that I could draw upon to draw that knowledge. Unless I made a area knowledge roll for the mid rim or outer rims.
Yes, but you'd have to succeed by a real lot. Make a roll.
Okay.
Are we mid-rim?
You are mid-rim.
No.
No, nothing tells you that these are the Crimson Corsairs.
All right, then I'm not going to really worry about it. I figure I've seen all sorts of shady types in my work. I'm not really going to pay much attention.
It's a free port. It's like a giant Star Wars cantina.
They just catch your eye.
Okay.
They look like a bunch of PCs.
All right, so what's the plan now?
Right. We were talking about going to the casino, talk to the guy whose name the player doesn't recall, but the character has eidetic memory.
Exeldor.
I knew it was something entertaining.
All right. What we'll do is we'll take a couple-minute break. I'm going to go grab a drink. So we'll take 5, and we'll come back with the casino.
And do the
I
thing.
think we're going to have a shootout in the casino.
Maybe. Roger, break.
All right. Going on break. Okay, and we're back. So, who's going to the casino? Is the whole crew going?
Team, it's Nim and Luck, while Tina and Bostco are at the hospital.
Unless Daryl really wants to go.
Let's see. Hang on a second. I do have gambling.
I actually do. I don't think I actually do. No, I do not.
I do not.
Should
you? About how much time has passed since they left the ship?
I'd imagine a couple of hours, sort of thing.
Well, that's more than enough time for me. I've plotted out multiple courses out of here into various getaway lanes. So,
So you'll join?
He's bored.
Darrell is going to pull out his big Wookiee hairbrush and brush himself and make him prim himself up a bit, and grab his bowcaster and walk out.
Shoot the first stormtrooper he sees. Whoops, did I do that?
It's a Wookiee whoopsie.
Would a bowcaster be? No, it'd be fine.
They'll want to collect it at the door, I'm sure.
It's just something hanging off his back.
All right, so everyone except for Tina and Bostco will be going to the casino.
Looks like.
So you can have your casino shootout now.
Yeah, this is where the gaggle of gun-toting Elvis impersonators come through.
You think so?
$3,000 parsecs to Graceland.
Nope, 3,000 light years to Coruscant.
Right.
I totally wrote that adventure. I wish I could find it again.
So you will enter the casino. There is security at the casino door. Unless your weapons are excessive, they won't ask you to check them.
What's excessive?
You know, disintegrator rifles, probably blaster rifles are probably excessive. You could have your sidearm. That would be fine. The bowcaster may be an issue. We'll have the universe decide. So Daryl, roll universe on a good or better.
It's time for him to growl at somebody.
Holy crap. They give you a second bowcaster to walk in with. I don't think you have enough weapons on your person here. So no, they'll have no problem with the bowcaster. The security will just let you know that if the weapons come out, it will be answered in kind. And you will see that they are suitably armed. So, stepping into the casino, you will hear the sound of... I'm going to have to borrow this from Quarks from Star Trek. You hear the sounds of doppel tables going off, because I don't know what the Star Wars equivalent is. The casino is kind of nice. It is on the exterior, so you actually have an external view of the asteroid surface. You have a whole host of different people, high rollers through to some dodgy individuals. There is some security in this place. You can give me a streetwise roll. And a successful streetwise roll will let you find the guy that you're looking for.
Then we will do that. And we will do it passingly well.
Success by 3. Remember.
Daryl would like to see if he can find those lowlifes he saw earlier.
Give me a perception roll. Or observation, if it's better. You're looking around, but they do not appear to be in this place.
Okay.
I will get perception rolls into the box, however, from everyone that's in there.
Perception or observation? Oh, well, honestly, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Now can I get IQ rolls into the box from those people? Very good. You will ask around for Exeldor Vorkesh, and it doesn't take you too long to find the guy you're looking for. He is currently sitting at a high roller table. He is playing, and this is the guy.
He looks like fun.
Looks like exactly the same dude, except he's an alien now. He's got the same expression and ears.
The same actor.
He's a clone of Hobbs.
Okay, this guy's face is a bit longer than Hobbs. His ears are slightly different, but they got this same vibe going, that's for sure.
So you all sort of gather around the high roller table. There's others that are sort of standing around watching the game. Do you guys attempt to get his attention, or are you just going to watch?
I need to gather my thoughts in that regard.
Daryl needs to play.
If Daryl needs to play, we could watch him play while we gather our thoughts.
I totally want him to roll a 3 right now and win everything.
All right, so this is a high stakes table. So we will say the minimum buy-in is going to be 1,000 credits.
Okay.
Now Nosh is like, Daryl wants to play, but isn't.
Oh, Daryl's in.
All right. You go, Daryl.
You will park yourself. You'll slide over some credits, and then your credits are exchanged for chips. Okay. How much do you exchange for chips?
Oh, you said 1,000 buy-in?
That's the minimum.
Let's go 2,000.
Okay. Mark those off your character, but you do have 2,000 in chips.
You got this.
Excellent.
So
Time to win a starship here, bro.
the next round, begins, and everyone is dealt some cards. This is Sabak. Unfortunately, GM doesn't know how to play Sabak.
It's just basically
Poker.
Poker. They have randomized cards sometimes where they're like the cards may change on you while you're holding it.
Interesting. That would make the game very difficult.
Yep. But hey, people can still cheat.
Yeah, they were playing some kind of hex-based card game in Andor. I was trying to find any reference to it on the Wikipedia. I couldn't find it.
All right, so we'll do this via a gambling roll. The margin of success will be your winnings times 10%, or it'll be your losings by 10%. You are playing against 4 other people.
Okay,
He's
so-
gonna roll a natural 3 and clean everyone out.
do you want it in the box or out of the box?
I'm going to roll out of the box, so you can roll out of the box. You start. I'm going to assume all their skills are the same. So they are rolling on a
Success by 3. That's pretty good.
They are rolling on a skill of 12, with the exception of Exeldor. You will have 13. So we'll roll
He's talking
Exeldor
about-
first.
We know the truth. He's got an 18.
You will lose. And there's 4 more rolls.
You totally should have had the other
Wow.
players roll them.
Actually, that's a good idea. We have 4 other players. So
Too late, you already rolled.
That's when he goes /clear.
yeah, you have no proof of that. Everyone else can roll skill 12 gambling for the other players. At this point, Nosh is cleaning up.
Ruh-roh.
So we need a roll from Tina and Bosco. Just 3d6. You don't need to actually put it in a skill if you don't want to. You can just roll 3d6. Okay, so luck. You will win the round. Yes. Luck, you win the round. However, well, it's not a round. It's just several hands and such. But Daryl, you will get an extra 300 credits that you are currently up at the table.
Way to go there, Wookiee guy.
Excellent.
With a failure by 4, we'll say Nim, the guy that you're playing, went all in and he lost his stake.
I actually succeeded by 2.
Oh, sorry.
Skill on that was 6.
My bad. Does Daryl want to keep playing?
So I put in 2,000 chips, did I?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but
Sorry. So you're up 600 because you succeed by 3, so it's 10% per.
telling you,
Okay.
you need to roll a 3.
I'll put in half of what I just won.
Okay, the minimum buy-in's 1,000. Remember?
All right.
Is everyone just standing around watching at present?
So do I have
Yeah,
to go and get?
yeah.
Do I have to
I
go
have
and
no
get more
idea.
chips? Is that what I have to go and do?
No, you've got. I think you're 2,600 at the moment.
Yep. Okay, I'll put another 2,000 in.
Damn, he is a high roller. Meanwhile, Luck is, going, no, just water. Thank you. It costs how much?
So there was actually 2 fails in that. Okay. We'll do another round. Roll again. Everyone can roll again.
So, did I lose money? I just don't know.
It's not you. It's
It's-
it's just us rolling for NPCs. And you got really crackly all of a sudden.
Wow.
Damn. Zaldor's having a bad day. Nice.
Awesome.
That guy got out.
All right. So
Choked on a chip and died.
the guy that Bosco's playing, he goes all in
Went all in.
and lost it all.
Yep, the skifter, I think that's what it's called. It changed, and suddenly he's got the worst hand.
Bostco rolled 3 6s.
It will turn out that the Vorkesh, he will also go all in because that's a critical fail. And he's out, leaving fail by 2, so that would be so there's 3 players left. Daryl, you score 50%, so you've got an extra 1,000 credits that you made, so you're 3,600 at the moment.
Man, you're kicking butt, bro.
Vorkesh is actually out of the game. He lost his stake. He will step away from his seat, and he will just watch. This has caught his interest. Wookie and 2 others remain at the table. Do you wish to?
Nim is going to go over to somewhat discreetly talk to Mr. Vorkesh, seeing as he's just watching at this point.
Okay. Is Daryl going to continue?
Daryl will put another 2,000 in.
Good God, man.
Daryl's cleaning up. So Tina and Nim, could you make a roll? And Daryl, you can make a roll as well. Gambling.
What, only them? I got by 0.
Did you? I thought there was 2 people that were out. Oh no, yeah, and Luck. Luck's still in.
Yes, I got to fail by 4. My dude is absolutely. Wait, which Daryl? Whoever won is absolutely going to accuse that person of cheating.
All right, so this game is going on. Nim, you're approaching Vorkesh to discreetly talk to him.
You're the owner here, yeah? Mr. Vorkesh?
He turns to you and says, and
Oh,
who
God,
might
one of
actually
you.
give me a reaction roll. Any appropriate bonuses.
I will use Streetwise instead.
Does
Wow.
Daryl have luck?
No.
Dang.
He's a
I was
gambler
hoping
with
you
no
could
luck.
I was hoping you could find some way to turn that fail into a success.
Had to check to see if I had any bonuses. Boom!
Wow.
What
Gonna
did
be
you
like that.
roll?
I rolled a margin crit.
Unfortunately, it still only gives you a good reaction.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well,
But-
it might not.
He says, who might you be?
I'm an interested party in some information. I hear you know things.
He will say, perhaps we can talk. This is not the place to do it. Please, join me in the lounge.
Lead on.
You're going off by yourself, or is others following?
Luck will discreetly trail behind so he can keep an eye on him, but not where he can.
Do you have shadowing?
Don't think so. Let me look.
So stealth -4.
It would seem I do not.
So give me stealth -4.
Drum roll, please. Where's my stealth? Okay, that's not super great. Oh, hey, success by 3.
You'll keep a discreet distance and follow.
Clearly, I'm going to have to pick up shadowing.
What row?
Oh, God.
Nice. Nice tactical map. All right. I wonder what's going to happen
That is a
here.
good map. Shame it's not animated.
It could
But
be
over
animated.
Here, you're going to hear somebody shout, Dabo!
It could be animated,
Star franchise.
but I think the file size would have made it really difficult to load for you guys.
We'll have to try it anyway at some point.
Well,
Just
that'll be an experiment for another day. That's not what I want. So let's snap to grid. Actually, no, I'll leave.
yeah, it's probably fine.
Where is he?
Oh, yeah. You have to actually find a token for him, don't you?
Yes. And Luck, you were
Well,
going to
it's your
follow?
damn fault.
Yeah, like I said, he's going to be loitering, so that's probably a good place. So, what's his
Why
name?
is Bostco an
Ronnke?
unidentified creature?
That's a good question.
Oh yeah, I just noticed on the combat tracker he's blank. That's weird. So Vorkash is probably going to be aware that Luck is like trailing Nim and like sort of almost acting like a semi bodyguard. So that may
Well, he
so
didn't
Nim,
notice at all. He doesn't appear to have noticed.
Although, to be fair, it's probably not that weird.
true.
Size modifier 1. Shrink drill.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do that at some point. It's like you need separate fields for that. You need one for the size mod and one for the actual number of hexes or something.
That would be a good idea.
I can't think of a better way to do it. And I know you were talking with somebody on the Fantasy Grounds boards about reach, and I don't think I've ever actually seen reach being covered in there.
Hover over drill.
Huh.
You see the shaded area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the reach?
Yes.
Is that
So
new?
No, it's always been like that, but everyone has reach C, so you can't actually reach the next hex.
here's a question on this image. Why is Nim and Luck the pictures, but Daryl is the token?
That's weird. Hang on. Let me just re-import you.
Well, if the tracker entry already existed, then it may not have swapped the token when the token got added.
No. I'm just going to clear this and add everyone again. It seems to be balked.
Or it's borked.
Man,
I don't know why you need that. It's not like we're
kind of
getting into
feel
a fight or
sorry
something.
for him.
Why he's going to all this trouble when clearly there won't be any fighting.
Clearly. And you won't have to rip some arms off from people who dare to take your chips.
This is a peaceful casino. We're on a diplomatic mission.
Have I missed anyone? I think that's it.
Interesting. I can't rotate it.
Yeah, because he's got the pointers turned on.
That was from the previous session.
Oh.
Let me fix that.
GM falling down on the job.
Okay.
I got a bad feeling about this.
You should be able to rotate now.
Hunt him! Hunt him!
Actually, I didn't need to rotate it because it rotated it automatically to where the direction was facing.
That's kind of cool.
Well, that was weird.
It's still doing the rotation thing.
Huh. The pointers are still there. It's just rotating the token instead. Oh, that's weird. Okay, clearly it doesn't like turning off those pointers.
While there's things on the map. It's kind of weird. Alright, we just have to deal with it for now.
Glitching.
What if I redrop
Stay
your
nature.
token?
No one can be exactly told what the matrix is.
Okay, I guess I cleared it.
Cool.
Whatever.
Alright, so you will start talking.
Which means I need to know what I'm gonna ask. Distracted me. I was figuring all that out, and then we got glitchy. Right, so just to think out loud, I don't want to lie any more than I have to in order to get what we need. So my plan was to say less, but be truthful. And by that, I'm thinking we represent a third party that is attempting to get in contact with Catalana. And we would have to name her specifically because she's probably going to be separated from the rest of the group.
Alright, so is this meta discussion, or is this what you're asking?
I'm just thinking out loud right now in case somebody has better ideas. And so what are the possible unintended consequences of this?
He supports the Empire, draws a pistol and shoots you in the face.
To be fair, I had not considered that.
Or you could theoretically start by trying to make sure it's like let's see, what is it, make sure that you're not being recorded here, or he's not being recorded.
Well, just saying that I represent somebody that wants to get in contact with her, that doesn't really tell them anything about what we're planning to do here or who that is. There are any number of reasons somebody might want to get in contact with her specifically. And I can make the case that it's compartmentalized. I don't actually know, which would be a lie. So I don't want to say that if I don't have to.
Well, first you probably want to open by finding out how much he knows about those people, about the whole mess.
Just to
regarding
see
the current I don't want to say prisoners because that's not the right word, guests of the Empire.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think how Nim will start this process is say, we represent a third party looking to get in contact with some of the survivors of the Serenity.
What
do you know about that situation?
Imperials. Minimize Imperial entanglements.
Uh-huh. With minimal Imperial entanglements, if you know what I mean.
He says, well, I can help you, but that sort of thing comes at a cost. I'm a businessman, of course.
Does.
Luckily, Daryl is over there making the money to cover the costs.
Depends if he's greedy or not. He might go, screw you guys, this is my money.
It's like, I'm using this for a down payment for a starship.
What are you willing to share for free? And then let's talk the price of the rest.
Share for free? Well, they are on Starhaven.
I think it would probably add that we already know that they're in a hotel on the ISB's dime, as it were. I don't think we knew anything else other than that. And I haven't named anybody yet.
He says, well,
Right.
It appears that you already know as much as free is going to get you.
Kind of figured.
While you're doing your discussions, Drill, you're playing your game. Keep in mind that after this round, you have lost 200 credits of your total winnings.
Also, my guy accused Nim's guy of cheating.
So this has happened. This is all taking place. There's some cheating allegations being yelled across the table.
Yep. He's insisting that Nim's character has a skifter.
And from your perception rolls earlier,
That man's playing Galaga.
Darryl, you notice this guy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Should probably show an image.
That might be a good idea.
We don't know who this guy is yet. Uh-oh, there's a bounty hunter on the combat tracker.
Bounty hunters? Here? Oh, crap. Wait, no, the color's all wrong.
He's either a Mando or a wannabe Mando.
Well, honestly, there should be very few Mandos running around at this point because they were mostly wiped out. Okay, I did like that part in Mandalorian. What is it? 9 of 10,000 tears, something like that.
Yeah, the latest season of Mando felt like
Garbage.
it fell off the rails a little bit.
Hot
But anyway.
garbage. And I like Katie Sackhoff, but come on.
It was an unfocused story. But anyway,
Yep.
moving on. So, Darryl, you will see this guy. He was just standing off to the side, and shortly after Nim and Warkesh leave the table and walk to the sort of private room there, this bounty hunter begins to walk in that direction. You are the only one that has noticed it.
Okay.
Not even the casino security.
Now, can I say something into my communicator to warn Nim or Tiny or, Luck?
Well, right at this point in time, there is accusations of cheating being thrown across the table. The guy has stood up and is pointing and shouting and causing a bit of a fuss. You will see some of the local security will be sort of beginning to move around the table or move towards your table. You do have a communicator.
Then I'm going to put one big mitt over my chips, and with the other one, pull it up to my mouth to warn Luck or Nim or whomever.
So you growl into your communicator.
Yes, I do.
Luck, you understand Wookiee.
Yep.
Nim is probably not running his translator right now.
So Luck is going to start looking around.
By the time you look, you will see the bounty hunter sort of walking, seems to be walking with a purpose in your general direction. There are, of course, other people around. He doesn't have like a massive gun or anything like that out. His weapons are all holstered, but he's walking in that direction.
Right. Well, I'm not going to start anything unless something is started. But I will be preparing myself as necessary.
So he will get to sort of there. He will notice, Luck, you're standing at the door, clearly in that sort of bodyguard type role. You know,
Yep.
he will lock eyes with you and he says, I'm not here for you. Or, I assume, your friend.
Dun, dun, dun.
He will pull out a fob. What do they call it?
Yeah, I think they were calling them tracking fobs. I
Yeah.
think.
He'll pull out a tracking fob. He says, I'm collecting a legitimate bounty. Don't make this difficult for yourself.
Where
I
is
could say
he
the same
saying
to
that?
you.
He's saying that where he's at.
So he's talking across 4 yards away.
Yes. Now I will
There's a
need
fair distance
hearing-based
there, so everybody
perception
can hear
rolls.
him.
I'll need hearing-based perception rolls to sort of hear this. Otherwise, it's just lost in the background noise of the place. Tables, ringing and stuff.
Seems to me it's already complicated.
Says, let me do my job. He'll step closer. He'll put his hand on his blaster,
And I will
But not-
immediately do the same.
but not draw it. He says, let me do my job. I will leave. And there's we don't need to tangle. And Nim, with your perception, you will hear this, and then you will see the sort of bounty hunter step into view.
How
And
is
he's clearly
dude,
showing off a bounty thingy with the little hollow and everything.
Yes. At this point, it doesn't look like Exeldor has noticed this.
Uh-huh.
He's still doing his talking to you.
Yeah, okay. Nim is going to stop talking to Zaldor, or hold up a finger to stop the conversation we're having, and say, sir, I think I need you to play along with me a little, if you don't mind. This will be in your interest, I assure you. And then he will draw a gun.
So you had a good reaction from your streetwise. You're drawing your gun. Are you pointing it anywhere?
I am pointing it at him. I don't know if a Duros can wink, but he'll wink.
All right, so you're pointing it at the guy you're talking to, not the bounty hunter.
Zaldor. Yeah.
All right, so Luck, you will see the bounty hunter react to something that you can't see. He takes a more aggressive stance. He hasn't pulled his weapon yet, but you can see that he's looking into the room.
And Nim will say a bit more loudly, all right, Mr. Zaldor, I'm taking you in. Come quietly or there will be trouble.
You will see the guy's like confused. Give me a universe reaction roll, Nim. This will be.
Oh, I don't
Has he cottoned on to what you're doing, or does he think you're legitimately trying to take him in?
Well, I did say play along, so there's something to play along with.
So I'll say on a neutral or better then.
Woo, good
Yay!
one. 15 good. And, Vorkash is like, you'll never take me alive, copper.
The bounty hunter will hold his hand up towards Luck, and he will be slowly drawing his blaster.
Don't do it.
He'll be slowly drawing his blaster. He says, nothing to do with you.
Do not draw that weapon.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Yay. I don't have a great intimidation roll, but maybe. Well, success by 1.
Ow.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh my. In fact, Luck, you're intimidated.
No, he's just going to draw it, and it's going to turn into a firefight in the middle of a casino, just like we threatened.
Well, let's see if he catches on to the other thing going on over here. So,
well, that will depend on what Luck does. So he's slowly drawing his pistol, indicating he's facing the room. I guess Luck, you will hear Nim say his thing.
If the pistol comes out, then mine is coming out as well. And I'm not doing it slowly.
All right, are you pointing it at him?
Yeah, if he draws it, unfortunately, luck is like, because he can't see in there, can't see what's going on, so he is going to be
Well,
fast drawing the. I
I was
know,
being
but
intentionally loud.
Sure glad I plotted those escape.
I know,
buttons.
right?
FYI, Nim's plan at this point is to basically march Zaldor out through that door in between the two of them, so that it's very clear that he's being marched out.
Okay.
So,
Daryl,
how
you're
Richard
covering
fits
your
in this
winnings.
situation.
You're being yelled at. You've alerted them to what's going on. You kind of see what's going on, but your attention is split between the guy making accusations and yelling at you, security
No, it wasn't
approaching you.
yelling at him. He was yelling at the guy who actually won that round.
Oh, my bad. So,
Because I had been doing really well, and then I rolled badly, and so it's like, oh yeah, he's totally accusing the winner of cheating.
right. Okay, my bad. So the accusation is not to Daryl, but there's still the commotion at the table. The bounty hunter will draw his weapon. He'll get it out of his holster, and he'll hold it sort of.
My chopped down carbine is coming up out from underneath the poncho.
You will see that the bounty hunter will sort of hold his pistol Han style, sort of, holding it low at hip level, pointing it into the room. But his attention is on both luck and what's in the room. He will say, with his other hand, he's got the tracking fob. He says, "This is a legitimate bounty. I have claim on Exeldor Vorkesh."
Sorry, buddy, I was here first.
Do you have fast up?
Well, yes.
This is really
have
not the
more.
place to have this conversation. And to exercise a bounty in a place like this.
I'm wondering if yeah, I think if I try to get some kind of complimentary roll on this, it probably wouldn't be all that useful. Yeah, we'll just go with it. Yeah, it's going to be like that today.
You've got luck, don't you?
No, I do not. And he rolled really well. Fuck you.
He says, "Are you a representative of the guild? If so, prove it. Otherwise, you don't have
prove it to
legitimate
you.
claim on this bounty."
Hoping the security's going to react while we're doing this standoff.
Well, security is reacting to the commotion at the table.
Yeah, but there are weapons drawn over here. And that's going to definitely be causing people at this table to react much loudly or louder.
I don't know how the owner of the establishment isn't covered.
So Exeldor's like looking around, and he's like legit doesn't know what to do. He's got two bounty hunters, or a bounty hunter and someone that says go along with it, and they're a bounty hunter coming to collect bounties.
I am going to, while I'm talking to this bounty hunter, sort of scooch or lead Zaldor sort of out of the line of fire in this general direction. How about you prove to me that you're a real bounty hunter? Anybody can go get a fancy schmancy set of armor.
He will. I don't know if the tracking fobs also indicate you're legit or not. I'm not sure. That's never
I was
made
kinda
clear.
wondering about that.
Either way, he will, with his other hand, he'll pocket the fob. He'll reach in to one of his pockets, and he'll pull out a sort of tag, and he'll toss that, and it lands on the table next to you. There's my proof. No, this is my claim. This is my bounty.
Okay. I'm gonna chuck it out the window. I'm assuming there aren't actually windows, though. A trash can, maybe?
Sure.
Or if there's like a fish tank or something, dunk it in there.
Sure.
Oh, how clumsy of me.
He will sort of cock his head and say, "Why'd you have to do that?" Sort of, not that you can see his expression, but it's like why'd you have to do
You
that?
can tell. It's weird how you can emote with that helmet.
And I'm gonna let the dice decide.
Forkesh really needs to reconsider his security. Oh wow,
Wow.
good. No, wait, 17's like excellent, isn't it?
Yes.
So I think in that case, it's probably the casino security have finally gone, oh, we should do something.
Yeah, he just suddenly gets shot in the back of the head.
By a bowcaster.
Yeah, no.
What is Nosh doing? Nosh has some time to do stuff.
Darryl is simply.
Oh, sorry, Darryl.
Darryl is simply going to try to get these guys to calm down, to stop arguing.
That's by the yell.
So I think what he's going to try and do is intimidate them to back off, and I want to use my size modifier and hopefully perhaps just my growl. Hopefully might give me a modifier. I don't know.
Wookiees
I know my size
have a racial reputation.
My size modifier definitely does.
I'll give you a further +1.
All right, that's a +2.
Yeah, but droids don't rip their arms out when they lose.
So you give a growl.
Success by 3.
That's your cue.
Not that one.
Not
You
that
need
one.
the growl.
That one. Not that one. That one.
That's better.
That's definitely better.
The two people who were fighting over this just stop and sit down, staring at Darryl. The argument completely ends there, and both guys are put in their place.
And Darryl will just make a gesture, either keep playing or leave.
Both of them will clear their chips from the table. rather hurriedly. Just scoop them up and leave. They don't want to mess with the Wookiee.
Wow,
know
that
what he
means
said?
he gets. That means yeah, because he's like, "Can we just play?" That's all he said.
Excellent.
Or this light is irritating my eyes.
So I'm going to scoop all my chips up and put them in my satchel. And then I'm going to walk stealthily and get behind the bounty hunter.
Sure.
Hopefully, with that 17 universe reaction, the casino security finally pulled their heads out of their 4 points of contact.
How close to the bounty hunter are you going to get?
Well, I have a reach of 1, I think.
Okay, so you're getting really close.
Yeah. Now, if I am going to stealth it, do I get some massive bonuses because of all the commotion going on?
Sure. Give me a stealth roll. And I'll give you a plus.
Here comes
Plus
your dice,
2.
Nosh. Or Mel's gonna let you borrow hers.
I'm not that stealthy. Here we go.
What happens if Nosh's dice and Mel's dice unite?
The universe implodes.
Do we roll 20s on 3d6s?
All right. So you will be able to get right behind him. And since his back is turned, he doesn't know you're there.
I'm simply going to tap him on the shoulder.
He will turn around, looking at you chest level, and then he slowly sort of lifts his gaze to meet your eyes.
And I make a gesture to like scram.
Meet Daryl.
At this point, you also see security sort of converging from those directions. The bounty hunter will then, with his blaster pistol, he'll sort of let it fall on his finger. So he lets go of the grip. So the blaster is just sort of hanging off his finger. And you'll see that he backs down. He will then holster the blaster and he will back away. Is anyone going to try and stop him? Or do anything?
I'm just gonna let my carbine disappear back underneath my poncho.
I will more quietly inform Zeldor that his security has come to his rescue.
I'm going to tell the withdrawing hunter to be worthy of what that armor represents.
He will say, I still have a job to do.
Not today.
But he will leave the establishment, and you're pretty sure that you'll have another encounter with him later, unless things change. He's not going to give up on his bounty.
Then we can maybe get some Mandalorian armor too. I could change my helmet. I do. I really do like the Mando helmet.
It is a good helmet.
Darrell will want to cash in his chips.
You can cash in your chips. So what was it? 3,400?
Yep.
You'll cash in your chips. Vorkesh will say...
I was going to say, looks like your life is a little more interesting than I expected.
He will say, well, I guess you're free. You're free is entitles you to a little bit more. He says, my sources tell me that the passengers are all being kept under guard at Starhaven Prime Hotel.
Oh God, Amazon's that old.
As far as I can tell, the passengers are free to move around the hotel, but they are kept within certain areas of the hotel. They are not free to leave until the ISB finish whatever it is that they're doing with them. Apparently the pirates responsible for the attack have attracted their attention for some reason.
I take it you don't know anything about that.
I intend to find out. But that is not something that is easily... that information is not easily come by. It'll take me a little time.
Nim should totally ask him how much it's worth to find.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Oh.
You know, if I happen to find out about that, I might be willing to sell you that information.
He will, not that he has eyebrows, he will raise an eyebrow. And
He wiggles his
brow.
ear.
He says, well, if you have that information, please come back and see me and we can discuss what that information is worth.
You have any way of getting a word inside the hotel?
I do.
I might come back and see you in a bit. We need to get in contact with somebody on the inside.
We'll nod and say, sure. I'll help you there. Perhaps you can help me.
Possibly.
Apparently, there's a bounty hunter foolish enough to try and claim my bounty. Perhaps you can make sure that he redirects his attention elsewhere.
We may see what we can do.
So, Luck is going to fish out those credentials from the trash can or the fish tank or wherever it was that Nim tossed them.
I hope that didn't hurt the fish.
Well, it's the fishing tech. You know, their tech is such that I doubt it actually did anything to it.
Oh, I'm sure it'll dry out anyway.
I just want to see who this guy is.
Nice doing business with you. I will get back in contact later if we have something.
Very well. You'll know where to find me.
It has been entertaining.
He will nod and he says, feel free to have a drink. Drinks on the house.
I may do that.
And once everything settles down, the security say, well, Vorkesh will sort of actually get, quite pissy with the security. Why did it take you so long to do anything about it? It took some strangers, strangers reacted a lot faster than you and took care of the situation. What am I paying you for? And then he will, after berating them, he'll sort of disappear into, a back room somewhere.
Well, I am going to get a drink to go, I think, and to the extent that I can do that. Or maybe just a shot and then to go. And we'll clear out of here. Get the band back together.
All right, you will clear out. You will look around, and then you will see, sort of watching over the place, is the bounty hunter.
Oh, as we're leaving?
Yes, so he's like across the causeway, trying to be discreet, but you've already seen him, so you know.
So in that case, Luck is going to hold up the guild ID and toss it in his direction as we are departing, so he can recover it.
He will give you that sort of Boba Fett nod, and he'll go and collect it.
It's a genetic thing because I can do the same damned nod.
It must be.
Nothing
And I
personal, buddy.
bump my head on the wall on the door as we're leaving.
Like a proper stormtrooper.
He will collect it, and then he will return to his overwatch position. The crew get all back together. You
Now we
exchange
break into
information.
a hotel.
The information that you have is that all the passengers are being kept in a hotel. It is the Starhaven Prime Hotel. It is under guard, Imperial Guard. Oh, sorry, there was another bit of information that Vorkesh
Right.
did give you that I forgot. He says, as ISB agents interview the passengers, a transport will come and collect them from the hotel. They'll drop off any passengers that have already been interrogated or questioned. I won't say interrogated. Questioned. He'll drop them off at the hotel and collect the next bunch. And Vorkesh's sources say that the ISB have commandeered the local police station, and they are using it as their base for questioning.
Right, easy peasy. We blow up the police station.
Mm-hmm.
So, transport comes to pick them up, takes them to police station. Once they're questioned, they're taken back to the hotel, and then the next lot are picked up. Hotel guests are allowed to move around the hotel, but they're restricted to certain areas, obviously, so that they don't, disappear.
All right.
Oh, damn! I just noticed the time. We're past time.
Mm-hmm.
We are past time, and that's where we will leave it. We did not get as far as I wanted to. And we didn't have a shootout with a bounty hunter.
I was
We
about to
almost did.
freaking shoot him.
If you killed him, you might have got your hands on some Beskar. Beskar's, I don't know if I mentioned it in the thing, but Beskar has hardening, one level of hardening versus blasters, and 2 levels versus lightsabers.
Cool. Well, the thing's not over yet. We may run into him again, and he may prove not good enough for that armor, and I have to take it away from him.
You feel a genetic urge to want to acquire that armor for some reason. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Hopefully, we don't split the party too much next session.
When we're blowing up the police station, I just sort of envisioned Tina going, "Wait, we're doing what?"
Well, you don't necessarily need to blow up
I
police
know.
stations.
I was just being a smartass.
But we could.
You have
How about no?
you have a few options. You could break into the hotel. You could ambush a transport, or blow up a police station.
I do have explosives demolition.
So do I actually. What's mine? Where the
Yours
hell
is
is it
probably
at?
better.
May not be. It's only at 11. I've only got a point in it.
Yours is probably better.
But I'm
Okay.
sure Crimson Corsairs are going to make an appearance at some inconvenient time.
Also true, and we can pin all of the blame on them.
That is true.
Cool.
That is for us to decide next time.
All right, so 2 points, everyone. Any
Yay!
character spending, keep in mind that everyone except Nosh, as soon as we begin next session, your characters will be locked in. So if there's things like shadowing that you wanted to pick up,
Yeah, I probably should.
now's the time to do it.
I will go ahead and ask the question. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I had the campaign log doing that stupid date thing on me. Question. I was thinking, since Duros are green-blooded, that they may actually have what the hell is that?
Copper base blood.
No, the disad. Unusual biochemistry. The question there is whether or not that's even really a thing in Star Wars at all.
I would
Are
say
they
it's
all just
not.
treated the same ultimately?
There is so many different races and stuff like that. I would say everyone is unusual biochemistry. So there'll be, for the purposes of medicine and medical, there'll be detailed files on how to treat the different species.
Right, but the issue is, I mean, certain drugs won't work the same. So
We'll
ultimately,
say
that's what it comes down to. So treatment can have other effects. So the reason why I was asking, because I was thinking, oh, hey, certain medical supplies might not work the same, and so I might need different supplies or whatever.
well, let's just say that you have Tylenol A, B, C, D, and they're on the packaging. It says, not for use by Wookiees.
Yeah,
But it's the same
ultimately,
drug modified.
This is a lore question, really, is whether or not that you ever see that sort of thing in Star Wars at all.
Well, not that I've seen.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. No.
It is space opera, so that's a level of granularity that isn't encountered.
I don't think they even do that in Star Trek, do they?
Yes,
they have.
Sort of do.
I have some
Okay.
things affect different
Yeah.
species.
Like, for example, for Vulcans, chocolate is technically an alcohol.
I don't recall that.
Yeah, they don't really bring it up very much, but it does occasionally come up.
That is an odd choice. Okay,
Yeah,
so
well.
I'm not going to bother with that. I was thinking about adding that, but I would add that as a racial trait. Therefore, it would probably not count against the disad limit, depending on how that got set up. But it's easier just to leave it off. And sounds like it probably makes more sense with the lore.
Righto. Any other business?
I don't have any. No.
All right,
Yeah.
so we will take this up next week, and hopefully we'll finish episode 1.
Not with all our deaths.
Not with your debts. Keep some spare character points aside. just for those flesh wounds.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Aha.
So if you're watching this and have any questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Night.
See ya.